Scorpio is a sign that has a lot of transformation potential, and it wants you to dive deep. Like, transformation comes from like deep, deep, deep within. We're not talking surface level like stuff. So as the moon shines in this deeply intuitive water sign, any hidden truths, maybe emotions that we avoid or bury within us, anything that's been basically like an unprocessed desire within our being is like begging to be released. It's begging to be acknowledged for that stagnant energy that holds it back to be let go so you can have a moment of transformation. It demands honesty and depth and surrender. And it's really asking us to sit down and confront our attachments. Typically, it's asking you to like look at the ones that like run deeper and maybe even have an air of like codependency to them. Addictions and any need for control. Scorpio is really big on power and control struggles. So like any of those themes that have been coming up for you in the last, I would say, like 48 hours, you can usually feel the energy of the full and new moon for approximately like 2 days before the peak of the moon and then 2 days after the peak of the moon. So if you take a moment to think about what's been coming up for you the last couple days, around any of those that I just talked about, it's probably the full moon in Scorpio asking you to acknowledge and let go so you can like move on into your next life lesson. It's both catharsis and an initiation. It's a chance to shed what is no longer aligned and inviting you to emerge more whole and empowered and emotionally sovereign. Now, if you want to add an extra layer to that, if you know your rising sign, you can drop it in the chat. When you bring your own astrology into it. So that's like what I just described is very like a general synopsis for everyone and energy. But when you add your rising sign to the mix, you can see what house Scorpio is for you and what house this moon is going to be in for you. So for me personally, I am a Sagittarius rising. My Scorpio house is my 12th house, which is your subconscious house. This is the house where in my personal chart, my North Node lives, and so does my Pluto. They're actually conjunct each other. So for me, these themes that have been coming up, I had a huge revelation yesterday, and it was such a beautiful like block within me removed where I personally, diving deep, I personally attribute my contribution to my environment. I usually weigh my contribution to the environment over my own personal needs. So if I don't feel like I'm contributing enough, but I have this need to rest, I'm gonna choose to contribute more. And so I was talking to my partner and I was like, I just like, do you feel like I contribute enough? And she was like, I don't weigh your worth that way. Like, I don't feel like I can answer that because like, I don't ever think of it that way. And I was like, whoa, like, so you mean I'm just putting this pressure on me? Scorpio being in my 12th house, that was a deep subconscious blockage for me that was kind of like shifted. Because it's in a full moon and not a new moon, it's really asking you to look at these behaviors and release them. Asking me to release this subconscious limiting belief that my worth in just the context of like, if I'm worthy of being loved and valued in my relationship had a lot to do with how I contributed. And it turns out that's not normal. Like, that's not how most people are going to function. So like, that's my Scorpio full moon asking me to release lesson. So this is our full moon in Scorpio emotional detox meditation. I invite you to begin by finding a comfortable seat lying down. Let your eyes close or soften. Taking a deep breath in through your nose. And slowly exhale through your mouth. Repeat that again with a deep inhale through your nose and release. Connection to breath is so important. Feel yourself arriving in this moment. Let the earth beneath you hold you. Let it steady you. With each breath, imagine you're sinking deeper into the support of the earth, safe, grounded, rooted. Now bringing awareness to your body. Notice where you're holding tension. Is it in your shoulders, in your jaw, in your belly? With each exhale, soften, let go, and let it melt away. Above you, imagine the glowing light of the full moon in Scorpio. Like a bright mirror revealing everything that lives beneath your surface. She is not here to judge. She is here to illuminate. Let her light guide you inward. Begin to scan your emotional body. Where are you holding back? Where have you been afraid to feel very deeply? What truths have you been keeping in the shadows? Let whatever arises come forward. Acknowledge it. Witness it. And know you don't have to fix it. You just have to feel it. If grief arises, if anger arises, if desire, longing, fear, or uncertainty arises, remember to just breathe. Allow the full moon to hold you in your rawness. You are safe to feel it all. Now bring to mind one emotion or attachment you're ready to release. It may be fear, control, guilt. Maybe it's an old story. A toxic tie. Name it gently in your heart, without shame, just truth. Visualize this energy as smoke or water. Something that moves and shifts and transforms. Now with each out-breath, imagine it leaving your body. With each breath in, invite in spaciousness, clarity, and calm. Breathe out the pain and breathe in transformation. Let this Scorpio moon turn your pain into power. Let her teach you the magic of emotional alchemy. I invite you to place a hand over your heart and one on your belly if you would like. Whisper to yourself, I am safe to feel deeply. I am safe to release. I am safe to evolve. Let those words echo within you. When you're ready, begin to slowly bring awareness back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll your shoulders. And when you feel ready, open your eyes and know that you're aligned with the deep wisdom of the moon. When you guys are up and ready, I do have a couple journal prompts for you. If you are not a journaler, while you guys do that prompt, if you're not typically a journaler, Jen and I both highly recommend at least checking in on the new and full moon every month. That's every 2 weeks roughly, and really it's just like a twice monthly check-in of yourself, where you're at in your own journey and your own phase of life. And it's really beautiful to be able to go and look back through my journals and see what I was going through last Scorpio full moon, and then to like really hold space and time for how much of my life personally has transformed from one moon to the next. Even in 6-month cycles, roughly every 6 months. So right now we're in a Scorpio full moon. In roughly 6 months, we'll have a Scorpio new moon. And it'll be really interesting to see how the energies have shifted from this moon of release to a moon of calling in the same sign, the same zodiac.